Hello, welcome to lesson 2 on functions, where we start to talk about composite functions. So in today's lesson we're going to talk about what a composite function is and how we can use composite functions to calculate values. So a bit like we did last lesson on using substitution to find out an output, we're going to be doing this but with composite functions. So I hope you find this lesson helpful. Remember to pause the video when you need to, and hopefully you'll find it okay. So let's get started. So a composite function, what is it? So these are functions within another function. So it's basically like 2 or 3 functions combined together. Okay, so it's like lots of different ones. So things like this, for example, here we've got f(g) of x. So what I'm doing here is I'm combining my f and my g function together, and I would say that as f of gx. Okay, so I'm basically here taking my g of x function and putting that into the f function. Okay, so a way I remember of doing this is if you look at the function, look at what's inside first. So the g of x is like on the right hand side of the f, which means that that is the first function that then goes into the f function. Okay, so we're going to start applying it to actual functions with some algebra in. So I've got in my grey boxes g of x equals x plus 1, so that's my function of g. I've got f of x is x squared, that's my function of f. So my example is saying work out fg3. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to work out is my G3, and that's because that's the bit inside, and that is going to go into the F. So we need to work out G of 3 first. So to do that, I'm going to write G of 3 equals 3 plus 1. So I'm using my G of x function here. I'm replacing my x value with 3. So I've got 3 plus 1. So my G3 value, my output is 4. And I'm going to take that output, the answer that I've got for G of 3, and I'm then going to put that into my function of f. So it says in the pink box here, use your answer for G, which is 4, and put it into your f function. My f function is x squared. So what I'm going to do is take my 4 as my x value, put it into the function, so do 4 squared, and then I get 16. Okay, so basically my g value becomes my new x value for my f function. Bit complicated, but the more you do it, the more you'll be able to get, and the more practice you get, the better you'll be at it. So let's have a look at 2 more questions. So I've got my functions at the top, I've got f of x and I've got g of x, and we're going to work out these 3 answers. Okay. And the question says work out the value, which means our answer is going to be a number of some sort. So we've got fg2. So first thing we're going to work out is our g of 2 function. Okay, so remember to use the correct one at the top. So g2 is going to be 2 squared minus 3, and that would be 4 take away 3, which is 1. So remember, I've replaced every x number in that function with a 2. So I've got my answer for g, and now that answer is going into my f function. So now my x value for f is 1. So because that's my answer from before, I'm doing 4 times 1, take away 1, which is 3. So that's my answer. On b, we've got f of 3 to work out first, because that's the inner function. So that means that my x value in the f function is always going to be replaced with a 3. So f of 3 is 4 times 3, take away 1. 4 times 3 is 12, take away 1 is 11. So I've got my answer for f of 3, and now this answer of 11 is going to go into g, into the g of x function. And remember, your x value for that g function is going to be 11. So now I'm putting 11 into the x squared, so it's 11 squared, take away 3, which is 118. So that's my final answer for that composite function. Now C, we've actually got the f function twice. So the first thing we're going to do is the inner f function, which is f2. So that's what we're going to work out first. So we're going to do 4 times 2, take away 1, which is 7. And now we've got our answer, so that's going to be our new x value that goes into our f function. So we're putting that into f again. So we've got 7, and now we're doing 4 times 7, take away 1, which is 27. So basically this is a lot of substitution, finding an answer, and then putting it into another or sometimes the same function again to get a new numerical answer or output. Okay, so make any notes that you need to, and on our next slide we've got some questions for you to have a go at. So here is some questions for you. We've got 3 functions at the top, f, g and h. Please make sure you use the right function in the right question, and remember that you need to always do your inner function first, take that answer and put that into the outer function afterwards to get a value. So pause the video and see how you get on. Okay, here are your answers for your composite functions. So pause the video and mark your work. You might be noticing that for C and D, I didn't give you a number to sub in, and there is a reason for that, and you will find out how you can do composite functions without numbers, so how we do composite functions with algebra on the next video. So make sure you tune in for that if you want to know how to do that in preparation for your exam. Hope you found this useful and helpful. Tune in again. Bye.